Every profession has its cliche. Justice is blind. Media is the watchdog of the society. Army people says duty unto death. LIC says zindagi ke saath bhi, zindagi ke baad bhi. And now there is sabka saath, sabka vikas. My profession too has its cliches. And the cliches of my profession are that photography is the window of the world. Photography is the mirror of our times. So when I was told that the theme of this TED Talk is going to be mirrors and windows, I said, seriously? I've been living with this all through my life, listening to these cliches. And in journalism, you listen to this all the more, But then, as you begin to reflect on it, sometimes the best way to understand a very complex thing is to reduce it to its utter simplicity. And let's do that. So what is a window, if I may ask you? I took some time to answer this for myself. I had to refer to the Oxford Dictionary. And the window, as per the Oxford Dictionary, is an opening on a wall, a roof, or a car with a frame in it, and there's a glass in the frame, which allows light, air, and the visual of what is outside to come into this side. So the key element that makes a window is that it has to have a frame. Now let us go further and look at a camera. The camera it's got glass, the lens. It's got an opening, which is the aperture. You can see through it. And it also has a frame. So what is the frame of the camera? It is the viewfinder. The viewfinder, it's actually a rectangle which borders what you are seeing through the camera. That is the frame. So all the criteria is met: glass, frame, opening, light coming through. So in factual correctness, we can say that the camera is a window. Now, every time you look at the camera, it's not just talking about these fancy cameras that we use. Your mobile phone, your iPad, whatever device you are carrying in your pocket is actually a window in your pocket. Whenever you place that device in front of your eye and see something, what you are technically doing is you are placing the frame onto a scene and recording what you want to see. Understand this. In this huge matrix of 360 degrees that surrounds you, you choose a particular element, you choose a particular point and a direction and put that frame onto that direction. That is what you choose to photograph. What you choose to focus, understand it, is an element of the larger reality, and you place this frame on that reality and you get your image. You can place this frame anywhere, but you don't just take the camera like this and click like this. You create, you take a poise and you focus it in a particular direction. You choose the elements and the arrangement you have to have in a photograph. So what you choose is what you emphasize. A photograph is your emphasis. Now, let's take it a little further. You all are familiar with this thing. Let's all do this. This is I have this pointer, I can't do this, but this is the director's pose, So what this director's pose does, technically it frames something. But as you look through it, what are these hands doing? Can somebody tell me what are these hands doing? Sorry? Exactly. They are blocking. While you are actively choosing, you are also actively blocking. Just as what you choose to see, the act of taking a photograph is also actively choosing what you block. There are two choices involved over here now. Choosing and blocking. There are not just two choices, it gets more complicated then. How much exposure you want to give to the subject? What is the lens that you want to use onto the subject? What is the medium that you want to photograph in? You want to use color film, you want to use color medium or black and white medium? Your choices are getting deeper and deeper. And as and when you become more, you create more levels of complexities with your thought processes in it, you see eventually there are 100 choices that go into making a single photograph. The key thing over here is choice. What you choose reveals a lot about you. You are actually profiled by your choice. When photographs become windows to show your choice, they become your mirrors. Just as what you wear tells something about you, how you keep your house tells something about you, what your body language tells something about you, exactly in the same manner, what you show also tells something about you. And this is where photographs now become clues to show something more that is now visible in the photograph. When I have to hire a photographer today, I don't look at his CV. I don't look at his portfolio. I just look at his Instagram feed. And that Instagram feed gives me everything that I need to decide whether I need to hire that photographer or not. Because that Instagram is his unviolated choice. And when I see what he chooses to show in his own medium, in his own platform, it tells me a lot about the person. And it is not just me who's noticing this. The AI platforms and algorithms that govern apps and social media sites are now profiling us all the time. Based on the photographs we post, the photographs we search, the photographs we like, the photographs we comment on, based on our choices, products are pushed onto our social media handles. Why do you think organizations like Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, Twitter, why do they provide these massive free platforms? Why do they have these huge manpower organizations, setups, these massive server stations just that you can photograph and post what you had in your meal, or just to connect to your friend or comment on somebody's dress. Friends, there's nothing for free. Nothing comes free. And when it is free, always remember that you are the product. You are the one that is getting sold. Your choices are creating a database of you as a potential customer. Your behavior is studied to target your spending behavior. And it is not just for you. Each social media site is now as big as a nation. The followers are as much as you would have in a decent nation. There are millions of users. Now their behavior profiled, their habits listed, their choices mapped, and you have something very, very serious over here. Economists, there's a famous quote of economists that is going around recently that data is the new oil. This is how trends are being predicted. Marketing strategies are being made. The new ad spend is about targeted micro campaigns, and the new billboards are your phones. And it is not just the marketing guys that are the ones consuming you. Psychologists, anthropologists, cultural historians, policy framers, and now the latest, politicians. Few years from now, there'll not be a caste-based politics. Take it from somebody who's into journalism for 25 years. There'll not be a caste-based politics, but the politics of future will be an app-based politics. Your photo, there is a complication there, but it's not as simple as that. Your photo, what you show, is not just your window. It is also the window of another person. Can someone guess who that another person is? Viewers. Great. What you are showing, when it comes into the hand of the viewer, even in a slightly reduced manner, what you have experienced while shooting that image becomes that person's experience, correct? What was your window for a while becomes his window. But it is not just as simple as that. What he takes from that visual, what he takes from that image, is something that is completely dependent on who that person is, what his genetic makeup is. What he sees in your image now begins to tell something about him as well. And your image now becomes his mirror. Windows, mirrors, see how the complexities are growing. I'll simplify it. This is a technical institution. I'll simplify it in the form of an equation. So your photograph is equal to your window. When your window is added with your choice, it becomes your mirror. And your photograph, when it becomes added with another viewer, it becomes the viewer's window. And the viewer's window plus his choice becomes his mirror. This is the way how the communication theory works. It's the basic model to understand communication theory works, how visuals are understood and consumed. It is of a lot of significance. It is a serious science. And it rides on a lot of money. A lot of advertising is based on it. Political campaigns, graphics, media, TV, and movies too employ this basic understanding of how the visual is to be interpreted and understood. I am directly in the flight path of this communication. Through my work as an editorial photographer, I deal with this on an hourly basis. Now, let us keep all that I have said aside. I'm going to show you some images of mine to illustrate how this works in the real life. So all that I said, keep this as theory. Let's do the practical now. Irfan Khan, this was an image that I had photographed around 15th August in 2017. Irfan had made this dramatic statement about how, Islam should move away from the rigid ways of expression and see things afresh. And I took this image. It's a technique that has been done before. You can see it on the net, but I used it in that context to suggest a wall and somebody trying to look beyond blocking hands. Swara Bhaskar, an image, this was a glamour shoot, but I chose to shoot her with a sledgehammer because this is what I see of her as, that even in she's in show business and she does not lose any opportunity to express herself on issues that are close to her. This is an image of a farmer. I wanted that image to convey everything that is wrong with Indian agriculture. I wanted to show how the land is enveloping the plight of the farmer. And I was roaming in the farm areas and I saw this man and his face, the amount of wrinkles on his face, and it was just like what I was feeling inside, and his face came together, and suddenly a face becomes an entire comment on the state of agriculture. It's an image that is very close to my heart. There was a photo feature that I did on the Olympic sports people, the people who represented India in the Olympics. This was again trying to show athleticism, the entire physicality, the skill, the training, all in a single photograph to get some kind of a motion in the single photograph. So I did a series of images over here. I had a chance to visit the Taj Mahal, and what I saw there shocked me. That the monument of India's glory today rests next to a sewer. And this image haunted me. But then we were doing a campaign on saving the Taj. So I wanted to create an image that shows Taj, yet at the same time brings home the entire problem of apathy that surrounds the Taj Mahal. So what I did was I just reversed the image, and here it became an image of how you can almost see Taj being swallowed by all the muck that is surrounding it. This went on to win a couple of awards. At the time, Paytm was becoming really big. All the bankers suddenly started fearing that Vijay Shekhar Sharma is going to swallow everything. I was with Fortune magazine that time, so created an image of how Vijay Shekhar Sharma appears to the bankers. There was a big campaign against the Asian elephant, in support of the Asian elephant and the problems it is facing, and I did a series of images based on the idea of Airavata, the cosmic elephant. But in order to create the cosmic elephant, when I was photographing the elephant, so they have that pigmentation of the skin on their skin. And when I lit the elephant and I exposed the pigmentation for the white hues, I suddenly found that, the elephant became kind of cosmic. To conclude my presentation, I leave you with an image. I would love that you guys look at this image and try and reflect on what it means to you. And at some point, if you can, get back to me and tell me what it is, and I will see how this window becomes your mirror. Yeah, and the image that I was talking about, please reflect upon it. It will become a closed-ended project for me to complete the circle if I get to know how this mirrors your thoughts. Thank you very much.